the local community 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
You're watching K34QB.
Good morning and welcome into this Wednesday edition of Good Morning Vail. It is a beautiful day outside to start. We're rolling through the week here, we're rolling through the month, and we're rolling through the year right now. It's already July 10th. I'm your host, Ross Leonhardt. We got a lot coming up on today's show. We're talking with Claire Noble with the Eagle County government. Some members of the Vail Valley Theater Company are coming in to talk about their upcoming performance, so that should be a lot of fun. So we're getting rolling right now. Grab that cup of coffee. Good Morning Vail starts right now.
Things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Welcome into the TVA Weather Center on this Wednesday morning. 58 degrees to start right now. The sun is shining. We'll see a high of 79 degrees today. Partly cloudy skies throughout. 40% chance of precipitation later on today. Some slight winds, 5 to 10 miles per hour coming from the northwest. Nothing too crazy there. So we're reaching some highs nearing 80, but today we start at 58 degrees. Around noon we'll hit 74, and at 4 p.m. up to 77 degrees, and expect those scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon again here. It is Colorado after all. 8 p.m. temperatures come down to 68 degrees, partly cloudy. Should be a beautiful day out there today in the I-70 corridor. Eagle looking at a high of 86, Avon high of 82, Vail a high of 79, and Denver hitting the 90s here with sunshine. So chance of afternoon precipitation and thunderstorms if you're traveling through, but should be a beautiful day out there. And tonight a low of 51 with partly cloudy skies and a 20% chance of rain overnight. And the winds staying pretty mild there. Into the rest of the week and the weekend, temperatures start heating up into the 80s starting tomorrow. High of 83 on Thursday, high of 85 on Friday, and a high of 85 on Saturday into the weekend there. Lows maintain in those mid-50s, and a chance for some scattered thunderstorms at the end of the weekend and rolling into next week. So we got a good couple days ahead of us here, and stay tuned. We'll be right back with more of the show.
Presents Nashville Roadhouse Live, where country meets rock and roll.
It's where I drank my first beer, where I found Jesus, where I wrecked my first car, I tore it all to pieces.
Join us every week for more live performances right here on Nashville Roadhouse Live.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Hi there! Are you ready to explore famous neighborhoods from New York City to Kentucky? Watch The Neighborhood with host Nicole Newman. Featuring famous people, unique history, and delicious places to eat and drink. Our viewers get an inside personal look at each neighborhood. With each episode we learn, grow, laugh, and live like a local, not just a visitor. Welcome to The Neighborhood. Check your local program schedule and tune in.
We're lucky to have so many great hiking trails around us. And up next, we're going to tag along with Ben, who went on a fun hike recently.
Welcome to Outdoor Adventures. I'm Ben Roof. We are heading out to Booth Falls Trail today for an easy but a little bit steep 4.2-mile hike out to a gorgeous waterfall. If we were feeling a little bit more ambitious today, we could take it all the way out to Booth Lake, which is an 8.6-mile hike out and back. Both hikes are gorgeous views up into the Gore Range and into the Eagle's Nest Wilderness. But there is no parking at the trailhead, so we are here at the Vail Transportation Center waiting for a bus to take us out to the gorgeous trail. I hope you'll stick with us. We finally made it to the trailhead. It's only about a 5-minute bus ride from the transportation center, but we could have taken one of the rentable shift bikes found around town, or if we were staying at a local hotel, I'm sure they have a shuttle available for us. It's about 2 miles from here to the falls, and it's going to be about 1,300 feet in elevation gain. We're starting here at about 8,300, and we're going to finish at about 9,300, or 9,600, I should say. It's going to be about 1.5 miles of fairly mellow elevation incline, with that last half mile being a lot more rugged. Let's get after it right now. So heading up this first incline on the hike, we do have a decent steepness right off the bat to get us warmed up, but it shouldn't sustain for that long. Man, that first quarter mile was pretty steep, but it looks like things level out quite a bit from here. We're approaching the boundary to the National Wilderness Area, and that's different from the National Forest in a couple of important ways. The idea behind it is that we're trying to keep it as free from human impact as possible. So we're only allowed to travel here on foot, and to camp we need a permit. Unlike the National Forest areas, there's no motorized transportation allowed at all here. So no mountain bikes, no dirt bikes, no cars, and no drones. So we also aren't allowed to take our dogs on the Town of Vail bus, and because of that, my best friend isn't with me here today. Well, let's keep going and see what else we can find. One of my favorite things about hiking is that it's something that just about anybody can do, regardless of economic situation. As long as you can walk and you have a decent pair of shoes, you can get out and enjoy the nature. But there are a lot of things that can make hiking way more pleasant, whether that's a decent water bottle, good shoes, hiking boots, or what we're going to talk about today, a good layer. And what I've got for you is the Smartwool Active Hoodie. And this guy is fantastic. It's one of my absolute favorite layers. It's great for all year round, whether it's an early morning hike like we're doing today, where we're getting out in nature during the cold. It's gonna warm up a lot over the course of the day, but no matter what, this shirt isn't gonna get too warm. And even if through all the activity we start to sweat in it, because it's wool, it's gonna stay warm. But it's a nice thin layer, whether it's this one right here or the blue one that I've got on and I've had on with me the whole hike. It's a fantastic layer for winter and for summer because it lays down nice and flat, and in the case of rain, or if you need to keep the sun off your neck, it's got a great little hood. And this hood can fold back, stuff down in your other layers, and it's just light enough that it doesn't get in the way and doesn't feel bulky. So check out our sponsor, Sun & Ski, for a Smart Wool Active hoodie today. So if you take a look behind me real quick, you can see all of these aspen trees that are laid over on their sides. This is just a quick demonstration of the awesome power that is an avalanche. All around me, these aspen trees have been laid flat by snow that's come down from the slope above. Something to always be aware of when we're traveling around in the backcountry. And when we're out in the summer enjoying these trails, we can see some of these debris fields that were left from the snow over the course of the winter. Just one little cool thing I thought you guys might like to check out. After about 2 miles, it took me a little over 2 hours to get here, but we are finally at the top of Booth Falls. You can hear the falls roaring behind me, and we've got some gorgeous views, making the hike well worth the effort. Those last little bits were quite difficult with some loose scree or talus to coat over. But now that we're here, let's take in a little bit of those views. Just listen to that water roar. But we can't stay here forever, so it's time for us to start heading back down. Thank you so much for joining me on this week's outdoor adventure for the Booth Falls Trail. And I hope you'll join us again next week when we're gonna go hike Nolan Lake out at Sylvan Lake State Park. Stay tuned, we've got some more show for you right after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome aboard! Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
This is Necklace. This easy-to-use, non-surgical alternative improves the appearance of sagging skin around your neck and jawline. Made from medical-grade tape, Necklace lasts up to 10 hours, giving you a firmer, smoother look all day long.
This is the one that works.
Starting on one side, peel off to expose adhesive and affix it beneath your earlobe. Stretch the strip around the back of your neck until it reaches the other side. Remove the white backing from the other end of the strip and attach under the other earlobe. Go ahead and take your hair down.
Wow, look at that! Necklace really is the one that worked.
Women everywhere are thrilled with the results.
Necklace is my time machine and I'm loving life again.
Necklace is way better than surgery. It's cheaper and it's easier.
Oh wow, to fight these years off.
I like it. It's like a mini facelift.
Oh, it totally works.
Think I need a box or two.
Use the on-screen QR code or visit sagnomore.com to order now. We even give you a money-back guarantee. Try Necklace today.
Learn the latest in science each week and how it relates to everyday life. From space exploration to plant biology to the latest in high-tech advances. Every new scientific development is explored and explained in an understandable way. Amazing stories each week. Watch Science Now.
Daily Flash Latino. Designed for the American Latino audience, Daily Flash Latino hosts Jessica Reyes and Fabian Marcano deliver their fresh perspective on the latest entertainment news, celebrity gossip, fashion, health, and more in both English and Spanish, aka Spanglish. Daily Flash Latino builds, connects, and celebrates the diverse Hispanic audience. Daily Flash Latino, trending news and entertainment with a splash of Spanglish.
You know TV8 Vail has great local content, but did you know about our production services? Hire an expert to develop your website reel, commercials, live stream events, studio production, and more. If you can dream it, we can help you do it. TV8 delivers high-quality content in both English and Spanish. Contact us today to discuss your next project. Email Danielle at tv8vail.com or call 970-628-9881.
The Paltrow Cast is an award-winning weekly series featuring exclusive interviews with entertainers, athletes, and other influencers. Tune in weekdays at 10 a.m. to see where the conversation takes us.
Paltrow Cast.
Good morning, Vail.
Protein pancakes are a great way to start your day, and we are checking in with Kim, who has a great recipe on how to make some protein pancakes.
That's right, it's Friday. I am in the kitchen. This is gonna be an adventure. I don't know about you, but growing up, I loved having waffles for breakfast. And especially now, I like having things that are a little bit homemade, and I'm always looking at ways to make it a little bit more nutritious and delicious. Not to have some fun with those words there, but I'm going to show us how to make protein waffles. One of my favorite things that inspired this is this little waffle maker. It basically makes a waffle the size of an Eggo, which you probably had when you were a kid if you are my age, or still now. But anyways, we're gonna get started. It's a simple recipe. You put it all into one blender, you blend it for about 30 seconds, and then you get to cook it. So I'm gonna plug in my waffle maker while we get started here. Now, I love to start this recipe with all of my wet ingredients so that it blends the dry ingredients on the top. We'll start with the first thing that we do. Naturally, eggs. First source of protein. You pour 1 egg, which I absolutely love using eggs in everything that I make. We've got 3 tablespoons of egg whites, which equivalates to about, 1 egg white, 1 large egg white. So pour that in there. And the best part about this recipe is it literally takes maybe 5 to 10 minutes in total, from cooking to assembling all of the ingredients. Now, another great source of protein that's in it, Greek yogurt. So we have about 1/4 of a cup, actually about 1/2 of a cup of Greek yogurt. So we're just gonna spoon all of that in here. into the blender. Now, one of the fun things about this recipe, I'm a really, I don't mind using protein powder, but I don't like how it tastes. If you find it in a recipe, you can taste the protein powder unless it's like in a smoothie. You don't normally get to taste it. But this recipe, actually, you can't really taste it, which I love. So we did all of our wet ingredients. We've got 1 egg white, 1 whole egg. You've got the 1/2 a cup of Greek yogurt. So lots of protein right now. Now, protein powder, depending on what kind of protein powder you buy, I would go just by what it says to use as your daily serving. So for this one, it calls for 2 scoops. So I'm going to go ahead and get my 2 scoops out. As you can see, you just kind of smooth it on the side so it's nice and flat. Dump it in the blender there. We'll do 1 more scoop here. And these are the dry ingredients. They will blend really nicely with those wet ingredients that you've put into the blender here. Okay, we've got our 2 scoops there. And then to give it a little bit more base, we're definitely looking for a good hearty breakfast, especially as we're heading into ski season. Mark talked about getting out there, getting in shape. This is a great recipe to kind of fuel you throughout the day as you get overall about 35 grams of protein in this recipe. So that's huge. You dump those oats in. You put about 1/2 a cup of oats as well. So equal oats to equal Greek yogurt. It's an easy way to remember it. And then don't forget baking powder. There's some of that in there as well. With your baking powder, you're going to do 1/2 a teaspoon. So simple, just grab a teaspoon. If you're not big on baking measurements, all you have to do is grab a measuring spoon, piece of cake, throw it on in there. All right, we've got just a little bit left. And then this recipe calls for 1/2 a teaspoon of vanilla. Growing up, I was told that you always double the vanilla, and I have to say I do it here too. So I do about 2 half teaspoons or 1 full teaspoon. Right now we're just going to keep it simple. We're going to do about 2 of these in here. And if it spills over, who cares? There we go. You've got about 1 full teaspoon of vanilla powder in there. And then, easy, put the lid on your blender. All you have to do is turn it on, blend it for about 30 seconds. So here we go. It's going to get a little loud in here. All right. Looking great. I like to stop it, kind of check the consistency. If it's a little bit thicker, which I like mine a little more on the, I guess you could say, liquidy side, I just pour a little bit of almond milk, but you can use your liquid of choice, whether it's water or almond milk. I prefer that because it's just a little lighter. And just to taste, I add a little extra into the blender, and then we just get it going. Blend it a little bit longer. All right, looking good. Okay, take the top off. There's a little bit excess left over there, but if you can see it, just looking great. Now, one important thing when you're using your waffle maker, don't forget to spray it with some cooking spray. Anything matte is fine. Right now I've got a little bit of olive oil spray, so you don't even taste it. It just keeps it from sticking. This recipe makes about 5 mini waffles, so in total you're getting about 35 grams. You could just pour it here. You want to make sure that you're just covering just the top of the bottom because it does rise while it's cooking. So we want to make sure that we're not, not overfilling it, but just spread it out, get it nice and flat, let it cook there. All right, we're just going to let it cook. All right, our waffle's looking great. I'd say you kind of monitor it, check it. It takes about anywhere from 4 to 6 minutes, depending on your level of crispiness. If you like it extra crispy, make sure that you are leaving it in there a little bit longer. But while it's cooking, I want to show you what the actual product looks like. This is so delicious. I love eating these after the show. I pop them in the fridge or the freezer, grab one out, stick it in the toaster. Absolutely delicious. Right now, I've got the waffle looking great here. One of my favorite things that I like to make because I'm into the make your own food. I've got honey cinnamon butter dollops that I made from scratch. Super simple. Maybe next time I'll show you how to do it. All you do is you melt your butter to about room temperature, add your cinnamon and your honey to taste. I just threw it here on the waffle. Drizzle a little organic maple syrup because yes, I like real maple syrup. I grew up on the East Coast. Anything else, it doesn't count if it's not real maple syrup, especially from Vermont. Well, let's give it a shot. While we're waiting for these to cook, it's going to have a nice taste. Cut right into it. Going to spread that butter around. Absolutely delicious. Not a huge ton of butter fan, but here we go. Just going to taste it. I'm ready to go. Breakfast delicious. Looking great. We've got just a couple more minutes till it's done, but really super simple recipe. If you're interested, ping the Facebook, shoot us a message. We would love to interact and share this recipe with you. I would. It's one of my favorite breakfast recipes. Easy to do, very delicious. So a great way to start the weekend. We'll be right back with more on Good Morning Vail.
Good morning, Vail.
It's time for the best coverage of the top stories in sports. The Sports Wrap with Jason Page starts now.
How do you make Anthony Edwards the face of your franchise if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves? We'll get into that.
And we say hello to our good friend Matt Verderam, who hangs out with us from SI.com. Their NFL insider, one of them, is hanging out with us on the program today. Did you see Caitlin Clark last night? She put up a 40-burger, hits the game-winning three as time expires. Let's turn our attention to the Denver Broncos, one of the NFL's most dysfunctional situations.
The Sports Wrap with Jason Page.
From small towns to big cities and everywhere in between, we're covering the great things that are happening right now in the USA. This is Positively America with Ernie Anastas.
Each week, we're going to focus on the great things that are happening every day in the USA. We'll feature change makers.
In every older person, there's a younger person saying, how did this happen?
Innovators.
I talk about design the way some people might talk about like the person they're in love with.
Doers and dreamers.
You can use that recognition to pay it forward.
Ordinary Americans accomplishing extraordinary things.
When you smile, you receive one back most of the time.
We're going to prove to you that optimism and hope are paving the way to an even brighter tomorrow.
We've got a lot of programs that are specifically focused on the children of our fallen heroes.
At Positively America, our mission is to feature good news.
For the latest and greatest trends in pop entertainment, Popstar Today brings you compelling celebrity lifestyle stories that matter most to you. From movies, music, TV, and streaming shows, to fashion, social media influencers, and the latest on who is seeing who. Join host Elizabeth Stanton as she digs deep and dives in. This is Popstar Today.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back. Joining us on the couch now, we have Claire Noble, one of our favorite people representing the Eagle County government. Claire, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
So a lot going on right now. We're in the thick of summer, and that means wildfire season, unfortunately.
Yeah, you know, wildfire, they used to say wildfire season was like, May through September. And now in Colorado, they're really saying wildfire season is year-round now because we're drying out, we've gotten warmer, and there's just kind of an idiosyncrasy to the weather now. We just had a wet June, which was not predicted.
Right.
As I was saying, it fed the grasses, so we've got some high grasses now, but now we're starting to dry out. This is usually when the monsoon kicks in, but I don't know if you've noticed, last few years the monsoon's usually late, coming a little bit later in July. Some years we don't get much of a monsoon at all. If you remember, 2020 was a really dry, hot year. And this was predicted to be a weak monsoon year as well. So what all of that adds up to is we need to be a lot more vigilant. Yesterday, we had a storm cell move through our area, and there were a number of lightning strikes in the vicinity of Gypsum, and it did light a few trees up.
Yeah, but we're all okay there, right?
We're all
clear?
okay. Wildfire crews were on it. The folks at HATS, the high altitude helicopter training out at the airport, they did an overflight, kind of a recon flight to see what was going on over there. So we're fortunate. These were acts of nature, right? You know, lightning strikes happen. And so there's not a lot we can do about that except kind of be on it when it happens. And again, our wildland firefighting crews are amazing. But we can be prepared, right? And so there's a lot of different ways we can prepare for this. One of those is to be informed. And there's a few different ways you can be informed. You can sign up for EC Alerts, or you can sign up for the Reachwell, download the Reachwell app. And so if you're looking for information on either of these methods of being informed, go to ecemergency.org. That's kind of our emergency preparedness website that we maintain, the county maintains, along with our emergency management office.
Yeah, it's a wild time of year right now, and being prepared, we should be prepared as well. As not only can we should be. I was driving down on Highway 6 yesterday, and I almost called in, but it turned out to be a campsite. So
well,
I'm seeing smoke, and
I'm
it's just I'm on edge, right?
Yeah, I'm so glad you mentioned that, because obviously, if we tell people, if you see something, say something. But, when the Vail Dispatch Center, our 911 gets their 15th, 25th, 32nd call on the same thing, then we're kind of overloading those guys, and they've got to take all the other calls as well. So that's one of the reasons why we want people to sign up for EC Alerts or download the Reachwell app, because then you'll know. And you'll see the fire, and you won't call it in because you're like, yeah, I saw the notification. This is a prescribed burn, or this is something they're already aware of and they're working on.
Definitely, and yeah, like you said, the crews here are amazing. I know some of them were out of state recently, helping with other crews. So, what else should people know about wildfire? Obviously, sign up for EC Alerts. What else can people do?
Be careful. A couple of fires recently, the Twin Lakes fire over by Leadville, that was earlier this summer. That was a campfire that wasn't properly put out. A lot of fires are actually started by humans. Another thing is some people have chains on their vehicles because they do towing. Well, when those chains drag along the roadway, they kick off sparks. And what happens is the grasses that grow along the highway, the side of the highway, those get really dry really fast. They're the first things to dry out because if you think about it, they have no shade.
Right.
They've got vehicles going past them at all times, so it kind of creates a wind effect, so they're drying out because of that as well. So that's just a tinderbox on the either side of the roadway. So really, if you've got chains on your vehicle, make sure that they're put up and they're not dragging along the pavement.
And for heaven's sake, don't throw your cigarette butts outside, right?
Absolutely. And whenever I do the highway cleanup, I'm always amazed because you don't see people smoking up here very much anymore, but the few that are apparently throwing their cigarette butts out the window. Please don't do that. The Breckenridge fire, they are saying was a campfire also that wasn't properly extinguished. So if you're out there camping, please be careful with your campfires. Again, EC Emergency, if you go to that web page, you'll see some tabs across the top, and one of them says fire restrictions. We're not in fire restrictions right now. But if we go to a red flag warning, and that comes to us from the National Weather Service, and that's based on heat, humidity, wind, and if we go to a red flag warning, then we go to stage 1 fire restrictions. I can't tell you exactly what is allowed and prohibited, but we've got some awesome infographics on that page that our digital media specialist created that'll show you exactly what you can and can't do.
Yeah, it feels like almost every summer we reach that point at some point. It just depends how long we're in it, right?
Yeah, and the other thing you'll see on that page is a map of Eagle County, because For instance, if gypsum goes into stage 1 fire restrictions, sometimes Vail won't, because Vail's at 8,000 feet, and the same conditions that apply in gypsum or Docero or Eagle don't necessarily apply in Red Cliff or Vail.
Definitely. It's one of the beautiful parts about living here, but it's very different down valley than it is here. And then in addition to the fire with EC alerts, you can get traffic alerts, you can get everything you need on there. So it's not just wildfires, right? It's everything you need.
Important emergency, urgent situation information in our valley. The other thing I would say is be prepared, be ready.
Yes.
And again, you'll find those resources on ecemergency.org, but you can also find them on ready.gov. I'll give you a great example. Earlier this summer, we had the South Fork fire in southern New Mexico. Now, had no effect on Colorado, except for the fact that those people in Ruidoso and Alto Village got no notice. They didn't get this, there's a fire, be ready, pre-evacuation. They got none of that. And I know that because my sister sent me a text saying, I was just evacuated.
Wow.
They were in the middle of eating dinner, just like everybody in that area, and they got a notice that said, evacuate now.
Oh.
No time for preparation. That fire had been 20 acres in the morning. By the next day, it had burned more than 13,000 acres.
Wow.
It went fast. Again, hot conditions and wind.
Right.
In her neighborhood, 2/3 of the homes are gone now.
Wow.
It's, it's just incredible devastation. So be ready. Have a go bag, or at the very least, have certain things like medications, important documents, pet food ready to go if you have to leave on a moment's notice.
Yeah, better to be prepared than not.
Absolutely.
Just in case. And what's good going on? We got some good news out there.
We
what's
sure
going
did.
on?
Eagle Valley Trail, they just cut the ribbon on 3 segments of that trail. The Minturn Spur, the area around Dow Junction, Eagle Vale. 1 segment left, and that's the Edwards to Horn Ranch segment. It's going to be a tough one, because if you've ever driven Highway 6 westbound on the north side or the right-hand side of the road, it's a pretty steep drop-off, and our engineers have to figure out a way to put a path through there. So this will be a tough one. They hope to have it completed by next year.
Yeah, one last little piece. Anything people can do to help with that? Is funding?
Go to eaglevalleytrail.org, and you can also help donate, because it's going to be probably the most expensive segment. We've been able to raise a lot of money. The state of Colorado has kicked in money, but I think we're still, still have a little bit of ways to go to completely cover that cost.
And this is the trail that goes from where to where?
Breckenridge to Aspen.
And we have one stretch left.
We have 1 7.5-mile stretch left.
That's
Absolutely.
going to be amazing. So yeah, people can ride their bikes all the way from Breckenridge to Aspen. That's amazing.
2 other quick things. Our Human Services Department is amazing. They were just recognized by the state for superior performance for the 10th consecutive year. What that means is they serve the most vulnerable citizens of our community. And if you think, well, that's kind of their job, yeah, but they do their job better than pretty much any other county in the state. 64 counties in the state, not all of them get this, and certainly not 10 years in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I know November's rolling around, but it really starts with local politics, right? So it's good to hear that we're getting some recognition out there.
And one last thing, I know you guys have been talking to the rodeo folks. Friday and Saturday night are sold out. If you want to go to the rodeo, you need to get online and visit EagleCountyRodeo.com and get your tickets for Wednesday or Thursday night. The other thing I wanted to mention is there are things you can do at the rodeo that you don't need a ticket for. The music after the rodeo. We've got the Runaway Grooms on Thursday night, and we've got Buck Ford on Friday and Saturday night. That's free. You can just show up to the fairgrounds, go walk over there, listen to some live music. If you want to eat some great food, fair food, funnel cakes. They've got a pizza guy coming up from Denver with, he's got a pizza truck with a pizza oven in there. They've got those potato things on a stick. If you just want to go do that, or if you want to walk around the carnival, you don't need a ticket for that.
Yeah, one of the longest events here in the county at rodeo.
Yeah, it is for the county government, because we're the ones who put it on. It's like kind of our premier community event of the year.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Claire, thanks so much for joining us. I know you're so busy, so thanks for taking some time this morning. Check out where can people go to get the EC alerts?
Visit ecemergency.org. You'll get all the information and the options for how you want to be alerted.
Perfect. Definitely recommend checking that out. Thanks so much for joining us, and good luck out there. And we will be right back with the rest of the show.
Good morning, Vail.
Take the first game every one of us played in the schoolyard. Turn up the degree of difficulty to maximum, and then let loose some of the fastest and most agile athletes in the world to go one-on-one in what you have is the most extreme pursuit contest you've ever known. It's intense, it's addictive, and there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
If you haven't seen World Chase Tag before, here's how it works.
Two teams of up to 6 athletes compete in a series of one-on-one chases. Each chase lasts up to 20 seconds and has one chaser and one evader.
Opportunities of points on the board! Oh!
Whoever wins the duel stays on as the evader, and teams get 1 point for each evasion they make.
And it looks like the opening point of this contest.
It's the best of 16 chases to win the match, with a sudden death chase-off required to break any ties. It's win or go home from now on. Don't miss it.
Join us on the famous Leadville Railroad. This historic train ride takes you on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for an afternoon of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Our scenic train rides are a perfect place to bring families closer together while immersing them in the natural beauty and rich history of this picturesque region. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Make memories that will last a lifetime. Tickets available at LeadvilleRailroad.com.
Coming up this season on Ready, Set, Renovate, we see one couple fall in love with a waterfront fixer-upper.
It sort of wrapped its arms around us and said, you want me, and we did.
And watch as another battles over the budget.
We're trying to look through and see where we can trim at this point.
Are you looking to trim it, Ginger?
No.
No. Construction pros show us the right way to renovate.
Well, we had to do a roof over. We had to hand build a lot of the trusses.
As we're putting the thin set down, the self-leveler has a little clip that clips up underneath the edge of the tile.
TV8 te brinda la mejor programación en español todos los días. Sintoniza Conexión Latina los lunes, miércoles y viernes a las 7 de la tarde con repeticiones los fines de semana. Además, te presentamos nuestro nuevo programa Sabores y Creaciones, donde hemos juntado tus recetas y manualidades favoritas en un solo lugar los martes y jueves a las 7 de la tarde. Y por último, disfruta de Daily Flash Latino, con noticias y entretenimiento en tendencia los sábados a las 7 de la tarde. Te esperamos por el canal 92 de Comcast, nuestra página de Facebook TV8 Conexión Latina, nuestro canal de YouTube TV8 Vail Good Morning Vail o nuestra página web tv8vail.com.
Good morning, Vail.
We've got a full couch now. We've got the Vail Valley Theater Company's Cabaret. Some of the cast is here. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Very quickly, I just want to go down the line and introduce yourselves and the character that you play.
I'm Jen Saito. I'm a Kit Kat girl. I'm Grace Bogansky. I'm Fräulein Schneider.
Okay. And I'm Steve Toffler, and I play Herr Schultz. And I'm John Maurer, and I'm a Kit Kat boy.
Okay, awesome. Cabaret, it's coming up quick. It's the 16th through the 21st, right?
That's it, yes.
So July 16th through the 21st at Chasing Rabbits. That's a first, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the first time that Vail Valley Theater has actually performed in that space, and it's going to be very, very unique, turning a restaurant into a cabaret space for this show. So.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful space there. It's got tons of room in there. What's kind of a challenge with using that as your stage or building a stage in there?
Well, like Steve said, it's turning a restaurant into a cabaret. We have a stage that we will disassemble, move into the space, and then set up chairs and tables and a back wall and props and costumes and everything else, bringing into a restaurant space to make it a theater.
Amazing, amazing. And Cabaret is such a classic story. Can one of you just describe kind of the storyline without spoiling too much?
Sure. I mean, I'll jump in here. I mean, Cabaret takes place in 1929. It's the end of the Weimar Republic in Germany, a time of opulence and decadence and fun, and it transitions into the beginning of the Nazi regime. And it's what happens to the people who are trying to live their lives, and what happens when a government comes in and everything changes.
Yes.
I play a German Jewish character who falls in love with this young lady here, and it's a story of hope and despair at the same time.
Definitely, and some great songs and classics in there.
For sure, for sure.
How's the cast looking? Is it a lot of the regular folks? How's the Vail Valley Theater Company looking these days, and kind of who can we expect out there?
Very healthy. There's the cast is local, of course. There's 17 members of the cast, so we've got dancers and singers and actors and all three. And Vail Valley Theater Company, of course, has been around for over 20 years in the Valley. And this is the first time even for Vail Valley Theater Company to be in this kind of space. So it's not even for the veterans is it something that's old hat. It's kind of new for all of us.
Yeah, the audience is actually going to be as close as we are to each other to the stage. So it's a very, very unique experience for actors and making sure you can stay in character and still, tell our story to the audience.
Right. So as Kit Kats, is that like an exciting thing to be that close, or is that like a nervous thing to be that close? Or both?
I would say it's exciting because I like to play with people.
Yeah.
Just like being there.
Yeah, awesome.
It definitely creates a more immersive experience for theater because we're kind of going through the tables, and it's more fun to play to people than to.
Definitely. How have rehearsals been going?
Great. Long and arduous, but we're getting ready.
We're less than a week away. We're feeling good about it, right?
Yes.
That's right, and there'll be live music on stage as well. So
Yes.
it's not canned music, it's live music. So that's another whole level to add to the kind of intimacy that you find in a nightclub.
So, I mean, I think we've sold it enough here. Where can people get tickets, and how can they get involved?
The BillValleyTheater.org website.
Awesome.
You can buy tickets, and
You're going fast.
Yeah.
So if you want to see the show, I would recommend that you get your tickets very soon. It goes from the 16th to 21st every night. The doors open at 6, so people can go in and sit down, have a cocktail, have some food, and the show starts at 7.
Okay, awesome. And I understand this is the director's first time working with you guys, is that right?
Certainly we're first time working with us. I'm not sure what he's done with Vail Valley Theater in the past.
David Meyer is the drama guy out at Battle Mountain High School.
Okay.
And he's been involved with Vail Valley Theater for a long time.
Okay.
But it's the first time, personally anyway, that I've been directed by David. He's great.
Yeah? How's it like working with David?
He's
He's
amazing.
awesome. Yeah, he's got a great vision, and we're also I think for the first time we're doing a prologue that involves other people outside of our cast, and so from the second that you enter Chasing Rabbits, it's going to be an entire experience.
Awesome.
And there's dining options, there's drinks, so there's just a whole different ballgame than what we're used to.
And Cabaret recently, opened again in the West End in London and on Broadway, and they did a similar thing, turning the Broadway theaters into cabarets.
Okay.
And that's basically the format we're trying to follow here as well. So I think we're trying to be true to those productions that are going on right now.
Very cool, very cool. I mean, one of the cool things about living in this valley is it's so small. But how awesome is it that you have this opportunity and Vail Valley Theater Company brings all you guys together? Like, how cool is that we have that here, VB?
Absolutely,
Really
and we
cool.
continue to build into the community as well. We have improv classes, we've got workshops, we do choir classes and dance classes. So we're always trying to recruit new members and spread our wings into the community.
Yeah, because it's a creative outlet, right?
Absolutely.
So it's probably fun for you guys to be able to do this, right?
Yeah, we all have a passion for theater and live performances, and this is a chance for us to do that and share what we love with an audience, local audience. So it's great, and hope everybody here can come out and see the show.
Definitely. What else is going on this summer? What happens after Cabaret?
We all sleep a lot.
Get back to hiking and biking and golf and enjoying this great, amazing valley. So.
Yeah.
But Vail Valley Theater Company is a not-for-profit, so there's always things behind the scenes going on, and there's a fundraiser or a couple of fundraisers usually every year.
Yeah.
And there's so much talent in this valley. It's pretty remarkable.
It is. What are the costumes like?
Can't you tell? this is not what we would normally walk around the streets here.
That's
But
right.
we're in costume.
I didn't wear this skiing the last time I skied.
But we try to be really true to the period, and thankfully in the Valley we have some great resources for costuming, and we know the various thrift shops and other things, and in Denver we've all, again, tried to look the period, and David's done a great job of matching up what was going on at the time and trying to make sure that we look like we belong in Germany in 1929.
Yeah, definitely.
Now the Kit Kat girls do not look like this.
Yes.
A little more like this.
Yeah, a little more risque and fun.
Okay, cool. What's been kind of the most fun thing about this specific one? I know you guys have done a couple or multiple, but what's kind of different or unique about doing cabaret?
For me, it's a great show that we get to recreate in our own voice. This is my first production with Vail Valley Theater, and I got to meet some amazing people and become part of the family. And theater is a family, and this whole process has been amazing for me to meet new people and to do what we love.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think it's coming together as a cast and, just really developing these characters. You start to get attached to the people that, you're working with on a daily basis. And and we, like you said, we become family, and it's just, I think that's just a beautiful process.
Yeah, awesome. July 16th is the first show. What are you guys most looking forward to? Getting out there.
The show started.
Getting out of rehearsal and performing for a live audience.
So what's the next week look like, the last week rolling into it?
We are at rehearsals every night,
day.
and then we will load into the space, which means bringing all our props and costumes and stage and everything this weekend, and then we start rehearsing in the space, and then the show goes up.
In theater, the last week before a show is called Hell Week, and there's a reason for it, because we're all working, until late hours at night and during the daytime, and trying to get this production up and running. So it's been tiring, but the end result will be amazing.
Yeah, and again, Chasing Rabbits, what a unique venue to do that.
And they have been wonderful too,
Yeah.
to allow us to use their space, and the collaboration among Vail Valley Theater Company and Chasing Rabbits and the actors. It's just incredible, but it's part of the Valley.
Yeah.
That's what goes on.
Well, as a community organization, Vail Valley Theater Company, who else do you guys work with, or what other kind of organizations do you partner with?
Well, let's see. Last summer we did Tina and Tony's wedding, and we were at
the Grand Hyatt.
The Grand Hyatt,
awesome, yeah.
Which was another immersive theater experience.
Awesome,
that was lots of fun. And I know Vail Valley Theater Company does a lot out at Route 6 when they're doing their fundraisers and reviews and so forth. So.
Yeah, we love Ollie at Route 6.
Yeah.
Awesome. What else should people know about Cabaret? Anything else?
They need to get their tickets fast. It's a great show.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
They will see their friends up on stage performing like they've probably never seen them before.
I love that.
And it's called A Cautionary Tale.
Yeah.
So considering the times that we're living in.
What's amazing, the cabaret was first produced on Broadway in 1966, and the message it had back then is so prevalent and timely today. Like Grace was saying, it's a cautionary tale of what can happen if people become complacent, and don't let the government take over their lives.
Yeah.
People have to be active in what they do, and again, what's going on in our government today, it's really, really timely.
It's funny and not funny. It's ironic, kind of how that works,
exactly.
right?
So it's an enjoyable performance, but it also can turn dark and have a strong message about what people should be aware of.
Definitely. One more time, what's the website to get their tickets?
VailValleyTheater.org.
Okay, awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Coming in character, and we're really looking forward to that one. So it's the 16th through the 21st, though, right?
Yes,
so
correct. 6 performances.
6 performances. So definitely get those tickets now if you can, and check out the Vail Valley Theater Company all year round.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Always
All
up to
year
something.
round. There's always something.
Always up to something. Thanks so much again, and stay tuned. We'll be right back with the rest of the show.
Good morning, Vail.
One of the longest-running syndicated television series is back, America's Black Forum, a weekly series highlighting the latest in our lifestyles, business, entertainment, and finance. We introduce you to entrepreneurs who are making their mark in the business world and leaders who are fighting for change.
Welcome to America's Black Forum.
Tune in each week to know what's happening in our world today on America's Black Forum.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
Join us in exploring the everyday lives of community members here in the Vail Valley. Hear their inspiring stories of how they came here, their contributions to our community, and why they chose to call this place home. We want you to be one of our neighbors. If you would like to be featured or nominate someone to be featured, please send an email to danielle@tv8vail.com. We look forward to featuring your story right here on TV8.
Hey, it's your boy, Nephew Tommy, your host for an all-new season of Black College Quiz, where the nation's best and brightest display their knowledge of Black history and culture while competing for prizes and scholarships. So get ready to see HBCU Nation take the academic field. Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Yeah, man.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome into the TVA Weather Center. On this Wednesday morning, 58 degrees to start. We'll reach a high of 79 today, 40% chance of precipitation later on in the day. Partly cloudy mostly today, some decent winds 5 to 10 miles per hour coming from the northwest. Into the hourly, those scattered thunderstorms are expected later in the afternoon. Temperatures really reaching 77 around 4 p.m. and back down to 68 at 8 p.m. and partly cloudy skies tonight. Into the I-70 corridor, Eagle looking at a high of 86 today, Vail a high of 79, Avon a high of 82, Denver hitting the 90s today, and those partly cloudy skies are expected in the Rocky Mountain region today and tonight, a low of 51 degrees with a 20% chance of rain and partly cloudy skies tonight. So thanks so much for tuning in this morning. Thanks to Nick, who's back and behind the scenes, and Terry back there, and whoever you are, wherever you are, thanks for tuning in. We will see you next time.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
You know TV8 Vail has great local content, but did you know about our production services? Hire an expert to develop your website reel, commercials, live stream events, studio production, and more. If you can dream it, we can help you do it. TV8 delivers high-quality content in both English and Spanish. Contact us today to discuss your next project. Email Dan